CHISME.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Chisme Report. I'm your host, Danny Flores. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, that little bit right next to it. That way you get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to like and comment down below. Guys, what's good? Welcome back to our brand new Chisme Report. Today's report is actually brought to you by Chiquis Rivera because I don't know if you guys listened to her podcast, but last week she came out with a podcast, and let me tell you, this podcast was real. It was like 100% relatable. But before we get into it, guys, go grab your snacks, come back, sit back, and relax. So if you guys don't know, Chiquis has a podcast named Chiquis and Chill, and let me tell you, after I heard this episode, I subscribed because, guys, this episode was really relatable. She talks about, loyalty. She talks about toxic loyalty, and at first I was like, what is toxic loyalty? But then when she, started talking about it, I was like, damn, that's real. So as a Mexican American in this culture, we're taught to, be loyal, be respectful, respect your elders, don't talk back, and yeah, basically be 100% loyal. But as people grow older, loyalty is not really all there, because a lot of people change, a lot of feelings change. Chiquis mentioned that you could have friends that become family members, not blood, but they're actually family. And I was like, damn, that's cool. I wish I could relate to something like this, because like I said, growing up Mexican American, actually, well, in my family, we're always taught to, hang out with family, have carne asadas, always be there with family. But when we want to go hang out with friends, it's like, no, you can't go because we're doing this with family. So basically, my friends were my family members, like cousins, tios, and, just family members. But I believe that Chiquis said it best in her podcast. She said, we're always taught to say yes, just because these people are family members, even though she said yes just to make other people, as in family members, happy.
We're all raised, especially if you're Latin, to be loyal to your family no matter what, to be a loyal person no matter what. And I agree to a certain extent. I think it is important to be a loyal person in business, in relationships with your family members, friendships, etc. Absolutely. It's good to be a loyal person. And I think that's a beautiful trait to have. What I don't agree with is being loyal to a fault, which means toxic loyalty. I think also I was raised kind of like blood is thicker than water. And I've learned throughout the years that, yes, you were born into a certain family. And yes, you have people in the world that have the same blood running through their veins like you do, which is called family. But I also feel and I believe that you can have friends that become family members, that you weren't necessarily born in their family and vice versa, but you consider them family members. You might even be closer to some of them than you are to your own family members. So toxic loyalty is when you are given no other choice but to be loyal, even if you know that certain things are being done incorrectly or against your own values and morals. And you are forced to either stay quiet or not give your opinion or stand next to them, even when you know that they are wrong. It could be a family member. It could be in a relationship.
And I feel like once you start saying no to family members, then you're the problem. Then they start coming at you. They start talking behind your back saying, whoa, you've changed. Like, why are you saying no now? Why can't I borrow money anymore? Like, what? But she decided last year she's gonna stop saying no to those type of friendships or relationships she has, because she did say, like, when she would go to sleep at night, she would think about it and be like, you know what, that's not me, that's not something I want to do every time I say yes. So I totally agree with her. People do have to learn to say no, even though it's family members. And this is when Chiquis brings up the whole drama with her family that happened about 3 weeks ago when she was on Instagram Live, which she said she wishes things were, done privately, which I totally 100% agree, because why take it on social media unless you want that dinero? But this situation should have been kept private. And she mentioned she's okay with being far from them, but she still loves them no matter what. But in this situation, she didn't want to stay quiet about things because she did hear what was going on, what was being said to the media. And she's like, you know what? This is false. Why are they giving the media this narrative when it's not like that? So that's why she's like, you know what? It's enough. I had enough. I'm not going to stay quiet. Let me speak my piece. So that's when we saw her Instagram Live. and this whole circus, this whole drama, exploded. Then she finally brings up her grandma, Doña Rosa, which I had a lot of questions saying, like, is Chiquis cool with her grandma? Like, what's going on? Because we do see the grandma throwing shade sometimes to Chiquis, but then at other times she's like, you know what? Come visit me. Well, actually, her grandpa said, come visit us because we miss you, even though he forgot her name. But yes, I did wonder, like, does Chiqui have anything to say about this? And she mentioned Doña Rosa, which I thought it was cool because she did say Doña Rosa was actually like her first mom. She took care of Chiquis when, Jenny was out working, school. She's really grateful for her grandma, which, I'm pretty sure everyone's grateful for the grandparents. But at the same time, Chiquis said, she's seen and heard things that her grandma had said, and it didn't feel right with Chiquis. And this is a whole point of toxic loyalty. And not all the time you have to be loyal to a family member, because at points you do see them doing wrong. And I feel like culture, they always want you to agree with them, because if you disagree, you're disrespecting that person, that family member. But no, Chiqui said, yeah, I heard things I didn't agree with. So that's why you really don't see them, that close anymore.
And yes, talking about my grandma personally, I'm very grateful for her, for everything she did when I was younger, for helping my mother raise me while my mom went to school and worked. And she was like my first mom before my mom was my mom. She was so young. My mom was so young when she had me. So I'm very grateful. I'm not an ungrateful person. For me, it's like, I am so grateful for that and for everything you did and that you taught me. But now that I've gotten older, I've seen certain things that I'm not okay with, and that I can't sit there and be okay with certain things that you either say or that you do.
Up one of her tios. I'm not too sure what tio it is. Maybe it's Juan Rivera that she brings up. But yeah, she's never going to forget what that tio did for her. Just because that tio has a different opinion about your Chiquis, or Chiquis has a different opinion about the tio, doesn't mean Chiquis doesn't love him anymore. Yes, there's always times where, you're not agreeing with the same situation. And that's what I feel like Chiqui was trying to bring up. Toxic loyalty is a really big thing in this Mexican American culture. But if you guys haven't checked out this podcast, make sure to go listen to it, because it's like 30 minutes long. And let me tell you, the whole podcast is really good. But as always, guys, let me know your opinions down below. What do you think about this whole situation about toxic loyalty? Because I honestly think this is real in our culture. But yeah, I want to know your opinions about the whole situation. Let me know down below, guys. But other than that, this is going to be the end of the Chisme Report. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Danny, and I'm out. Peace.